So we're here today with Ryan Kononoff, the founder of Clearbridge, and a company that helps businesses and entrepreneurs focus on their core business by providing IT, admin, marketing, and finance support. So Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to work at Clearbridge?
Fast pace comes to mind. Every day there's something new, some new opportunity, some new challenge, something new to learn. And so it's definitely a place where everyone's busy doing something.
So it sounds like you need to find the right employees. What are some of the challenges in finding those people?
We're in the valley, so we naturally have less of a population to recruit to. But beyond that, for us, it's really important to find the right fit. And so we don't just go out there and hire anyone who's able to fit into a role. We've got to find someone that fits into our culture and fits into the dreams and aspirations and vision that we have. So I think that's our biggest challenge on recruiting, is finding those self-starters, finding those people that don't just look at an opportunity, an employment opportunity as a job, but rather as an opportunity to learn and grow and thrive.
So starting from the beginning, you have a new position. How do you go about finding the right people to interview?
So we try to start with our networks. So friends, family, friends of friends, friends of family of friends, and we start there and we see what we can come up with. We love hiring internally in that sense, where we already have some kind of connection with them, they know something about our business, or they get to come work with their friends or family. So that's really exciting for us, and that's where we start. If we can't fill a position that way, then of course we recruit through more traditional means, and that's really focused on the valley and in our demographic here.
And when you're interviewing people, what kind of questions or scenarios do you use to make sure that they are the right fit and they're not just saying they are?
Yeah, we try to create scenarios that we can gain feedback from the applicant or interviewee. But at the end of the day, we also try to feel the conversation out and keep it organic. So someone might come in for role A, but we might realize in the interview or the process of interviewing that really they're a better fit for role B. And that might even be a role that we're not currently recruiting for, but we may take the conversation there in the interview if it makes sense too.
After you've had one, maybe two interviews, do you normally know if they're the right fit?
We typically know within the first minute or two whether someone's the right fit, and that's the go with your gut mentality that we try to uphold. That being said, we typically have a 2 or 3 interview process, and the subsequent interviews are less about determining if that person's a good fit for us and our culture, and more about determining what that role might look like, potentially eliminating areas that might be a weakness for them. Mm-hmm.
How does Clearbridge stand out, and what makes you unique for people who are looking for a job in IT?
I think one of the most exciting things about our environment and what we have to offer is the constant challenge, the constant change, and for the right person, for a person that's really driven, self-starter, and is up for taking on something new every single day, then that's really truly unique. We don't offer a siloed environment where you're going to be doing the same thing day in and day out. We're perpetual improvers. We want to make what we're working on better and more valuable, and ultimately have these companies grow and thrive as a result of that. So I think that's unique in the sense that you're not coming to work every day to fulfill one core responsibility. I think from an IT perspective, we're very diverse. We're generalists. It might not be the Vancouver lifestyle for the right person that's more family oriented, that wants to have a backyard and doesn't want to commute 3 hours every day. It's a great place to be.
So for small companies, it can be challenging where you're always so busy, but you're not quite ready to hire a full-time employee. When do you make that next step to hire someone and bring them on board?
We have a bit of a unique position in that we're a group of companies. So sometimes we may not have a full position yet, but we do one of a few things. One is we look at the whole group of companies and say, well, do we have enough work for that one role across the group? That's sort of our starting point. Sometimes we also look at the ability to have someone cross-train doing a few different types of jobs in one position, or we look at just a part-time hire. So those are kind of the 3 ways we look at it from an internal hiring perspective. And that's unique in the sense that if we were just one company, probably wouldn't have a lot of the resources that we have. Our tendency has been to hire when it hurts, when we really need that that body to fill a role that is being often filled by multiple people, and it's being run off the sides of their desk. And as a result of that, it's hurting the business because we're not able to deliver the value or the full skill set or the full need that particular task or role might have.
So what are your thoughts on outsourcing? When does it make sense to have someone in-house, and when does it make sense to hire an outside company?
So we wouldn't be where we are today without our partnerships and a lot of the whether it be contractors or service providers that we have today. So that's an important fundamental of our business, is that we use them to build. So one of the advantages that we have is because we have a bit of an economy of scale with our group of companies, when we make a hire or there's a need for a role, we can scale that out across multiple businesses, fund it from multiple businesses, and ultimately get to that hire a little bit quicker as a result.
Once you've hired the employees, how do you get them on board and up to speed with all the different companies and things you're working on?
We throw them under the bus. That things are moving so quickly, and our training curriculum just continually evolves, and so as a result there's a lack of it. And so someone that can just jump in and take the bull by the horns and ultimately take on opportunity is going to fit in more naturally and get up to speed a little bit quicker. We don't have a formal training program. Every role is, every hire we do is typically a new hire. It's a new position we're creating, and so it's new territory. It's something that ultimately that person has the opportunity to help shape and mold. But ultimately we just get them involved as quickly as we can and have them learn on the job.
All right, well, that's our time for today. Thanks so much for coming in and sharing your experience with hiring people and how to go about that for other companies. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks for having me.